Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're here for the second round of the M5 GT Sport Drivers Championship here at Yamagiwa and Miyabi, the long version of the track basically. We've now coming into this round after a really successful week last week, 12 points ahead of second place and 14 ahead of third. So coming into quali, it's a very long lap and only 10 minutes of quali, so we need to make sure we maximise every second of race time, quali time we can get. Just trying to give our mates a toe behind, make sure they can qualify as high up as they can as well. Cornelius looking rather strong, especially. So, starting the lap, felt pretty confident around this track, felt like I could really make up a lot of time. It's a long lap, so there's a lot of place to lose time, also a lot of place to gain time. So we'll come across the line and skip to our first lap. Catch me if you can, boys. So, our first couple of laps, you can see we're down to 39.7, 5 tenths purple so far. This is going to be our final lap, coming through turn 1, getting wide, cutting in late for a late apex to straighten the car out for the run into the fast S's. You really want to aim yourself at the first curb, clobber over this curb, clobber over that curb, get your car pointed on this curb and straight line it over this curb as well, making a bit of a mistake there, but that's just to keep the car pinned, because if you go off the curb you have to chuck it in a bit more and the car will slide, you lose a lot of speed. Coming into this downhill left-hander, braking as you turn down to third gear, running as close to the curb, initially running out wide a little bit and then cutting in for a straight line and late apex onto the straight, onto the right kink, just making sure it's as short as line as possible. Coming into the braking zone for this hairpin, you want to be braking sort of that first white line, a little bit after, spam down the gears to second gear to trail brake and engine brake, keeping it tight on the run out to keep it to the right hand side for this flick hairpin left, just using the throttle to get this car turned in, late apex, using the curb on the outside. Tumble getting pretty annoyed there, using the curbs through these S's, and you can see we're about half a tenth down on our time after, you know, a bit of time gain, time down. A little bit through those middle sectors. Coming into this fast right-hander, again a left-hander. It's a bit similar to every other long corner, just trying to keep the car pinned with the brakes and turning in on the throttle, getting a nice straight apex and exit onto the straight down into the chicane ahead. All the way to the left hand side, you can see we're now purple, braking at the start of that barrier there. It really does tighten up strangely, keeping it tight for the chicane to get a straight exit, punching it as soon as we can and straight lining up the hill onto the run to the hairpin. Tumble getting a bit frustrated. He had a bit of hardware issues and racecraft wasn't the best on his end, but braking at the midpoint of the R there, as you can see, coming into the hairpin, just trail braking, get a bit of a slide but holding it tight and getting on the power as early as we can and using the curb on the outside. How much are we purple by now? About half a tenth. Coming into the penultimate corner, into fourth gear, using the curb and braking just before it ends, trail braking third gear over that inside curb, get a bit of a tank slapper there, costing us a little bit of time, but coming into the final corner, aiming ourselves at the apex in third gear, keeping it in third gear to get a good run, saves ourselves changing up a gear onto the straight. Sorry, I lost my words a bit. Simo into P2, 4 tenths down on us. What time is it going to be as we cross the line? It's a 39.5 and we go 5 tenths purple, so we're going to go to the race.
I don't like him.
Here we go, boys.
Junkie Sport's a legend.
Oh yeah, do you remember when we joined their stream?
I like him.
Never look forward to this race.
So, pre-race chat are done, head down and ready for the race. The strategy is just to get ahead, save a bit of fuel and make sure we can preserve this lead. It is lights out and away we go. We get a pretty slow launch, but it's enough to cover off Simo straight to the inside for T1. Just don't want to get involved in any first lap squabbles and monitoring the fuel just to get that extra lap on the soft tyres. Looking into turn 1, just covering him off nicely. He's on the outside line, so this is going to allow Cornelius to have a little look up the inside, getting caught on the curb. The car's bit back a bit too much, managing to hold it straight into mode 2 as we go up the hill for the first time of 11. Equates to about a half an hour race here at Yamagiwa. Miyabi Tumble making his way up the field as well, making pretty good opportunities out of everyone having a bit of a squabble. First lap is the main opportunity to make it up. So far holding station up in front at the top 4, myself followed by Simo, followed by Cornelius and From. Tumble up 3 positions though ahead of Blue Mosquito now as he tries to get on the back of this train for second place. coming on the first lap. You can see we've opened up a little bit of a gap coming in to the hairpin, and there's a massive squabble behind for second place, all the way down to about 6th place, and a massive train behind that as well. So coming out of this hairpin, it is going to be Cornelius on the back of Simo. He's going to look to the inside for the fast left. He's up the inside. Can't quite get it pinned though, and Simo's going to soar around the outside. Tumble looks to follow Cornelius through, but he can't get the speed. Tumble and Frome having to look back and get a front row seat at these two fighting. Cornelius having to tuck back in the toe. Simo defending pretty well. Goes to the outside. It's going to be a bold move by Willis if he sends it up the inside into the chicane. Can he get it stopped? He looks to the inside. He's going to go down the inside. Simo gives him the room. He's going to hold him around the outside, similarly to how he did through that fast left. Keeps him on the outside. Up on the run up to the hill. Cornelius not getting the run he needs coming out the chicane, so Simo's going to hold station for the moment. Goes to the inside already. Cornelius to the outside. Is he going to dummy his way to the outside? He sells him the dummy up the inside. Simo takes the race line. He darts his way through. Gets it stopped nicely. There's a bit of contact. This is going to allow Tumble to get through as well. And Simo's had a right mare here on the first lap. So he's down from 4th. And is Frome going to be able to take advantage of a compromised Simo into the penultimate corner? Doesn't look like he is going to be able to on this occasion. So it is Cornelius that heads this battle for second as he looks to try and chase after myself. He's still just about in the toe of that 8th, 10th sweet zone. Tumble as well, looking feisty, looking past to get his mate. Obviously the 3 best friends in 1, 2, 3 could not ride it any better. Let's see if we can hold it on for the rest of the race. It would be the most ideal scenario. You can see how big that train is all the way back to the back end of the field, but cutting back to ourselves a lap later on the end of lap 2, just a quick update. We've opened the gap up to Frome as he's managed to get himself in front of that train for second place, a little bit in front, just saving fuel, making sure we can stay in front. Nothing really happening so far. Tumble a little bit frustrated with the racecraft. Everyone peels into the pits on lap 6. Again, nothing really happened, just me monitoring the gap, saving some fuel, no one really closing up. So everyone apart from Blue Mosquito, myself and Boomer peels into the pits, and we're going to save some fuel on this last lap just to make sure we can make it to the pit lane. So lap 6 is an extra lap on the softs. That's one less lap on the mediums we're going to have to do. So as we peel into the pits with 0.2 laps of fuel, we're going to put the medium tyres on, the yellow striped mediums, as we fuel up the car. 5 laps, just what we need as we come on to lap 7. We look back to see our championship rival about 4 seconds back so far in this race. So these last stage of the race, just need to be careful to monitor the gap, and Simo is going to try and chase down as well. Frome's chasing up as we try and just conserve a little bit of tyre life. Simo as well on the back of Frome, he's going to be closing up, and you can see on the end of that lap, coming on to lap 10, Simo has closed up significantly to Frome as he is on the charge for the race win on those soft tyres. He's going to be looking rather punchy. Is he going to be able to get past Frome? I'm hoping Frome holds on for dear life, so it just gives me that extra little bit of breathing room from Simo behind. He looks to the inside late into turn 1. He's going to brake. Is Frome just going to concede the position? He looks to be holding it around the outside, can't quite get the grip. He needs to hold on to Simo for the moment. So is this Simo now released, unchained beast after myself in this race? We've got 2 laps to go, and it'll be interesting to see if I can hold on these medium tyres. Frome has fallen behind the soft runner, and it looks like Simo's going to hold on. He looks to the inside half-heartedly to defend from Frome. It's going to be an audacious end if he does go for it. He's right behind him into this corner, can't quite get on the brakes late enough. It looks like he just wants to let him go, see if he can follow in the slipstream and help him drive up to me as well. So it'll be a 3-way fight. That is if he can hang on to that toe, as Simo is looking really quick in these latter stages of the race. So we're gonna hopefully hold on to that P1, stay undefeated. But you can see cutting through this lap on our POV, Simo is closing up the gap pretty significantly. We've got a lap and a half left to go in this race, so it'll be interesting to see if we can hang on to it. On to the final lap now, and the gap is 2.1 seconds. And relaying information back to my mate Tumble, who is a bit concerned about the fuel. He is a bit wary, doesn't want to lose out that 4th position, so just helping him out a little bit there. Cornelius a little bit confused with the straight line speed deficit. He gets me insulting the guy a little bit there. It's not going full throttle. Again, having a bit of hardware issue with the throttle pedal. Hopefully we can get that sorted out for Christmas. I hope you all do have a Merry Christmas as well. But yeah, so this last lap you can see he has closed that gap up to about 1.45 seconds there. I can't quite see on the gap. So just trying to drive it home, not take too many risks or mistakes. He's got about half a lap to catch it up, but two-thirds of a lap left to go in this race. So hopefully we can hang on and take our third win of 3 in this season. And just giving Cornelius a bit of boost of confidence. He's held on well, and so's Tumble, considering their deficits in tyres and fuel. Everyone else except Cornelius, myself, and Frome and Trit have to use the medium tyres for at least one stint in the race, just to even out the field a little bit, make it a bit more fun, as it's only a casual league, make it a bit of fun for the people who aren't quite as quick. So just going to look to see if Simo can close up coming into the chicane. We're going to look behind us. Is he going to be able to close up? He's pushing hard, and it looks like he's not going to quite gain on us through there, but we look behind us and Simo has spun coming out of the chicane, and the traction there just wasn't for him. He was pushing too hard, trying to catch us on this last half lap of the race. That's going to promote Frome into P1 of the race and potentially Tumble into P3 if he can just have the speed, but it's not going to come to shine, unfortunately, for Tumble, as he looks for his first podium and first win in N5. He's a great driver when he wants to be, not quite much after that, but all joking aside, he's done really well. And negotiating the last corner, where I tragically lost a race last season here as well, when Frome mugged me around the outside as my wheel didn't exactly want to do well, but we come across the line to remain undefeated from pole position to win the third race of the season. So now to the reverse grid race, where we're going to try and cut through the field and work together to get into that first place.
Yep, she can fuck off.
Dozy cow, move! Is that you?
Oh, Willis, mate. Willis has got this in the bag.
Shut up.
Where I'm starting, I don't like it.
You've jinxed it now. Yeah,
Ow.
Willis, mate, just keep your head down and get some fuel saving done.
Look where I'm
So back now for the
This is
reverse
fine.
grid race. Tumble now gets a taste of what it likes
Start
to start at the back, but as we go to the lights out and away we go. Being a bit cautious on the start with the traction control. It's pretty even across the field, not much we can do. Jumping it into mode 2 for the race start. Same strategy as last time, it was the quicker one and got us that race win. So coming into turn 1, don't really know whether or not to go to the outside or inside at the moment. Doesn't really seem to be a clear line through anywhere. Simo though gets a little bit pinched, as well as Blue Mosquito on the exit. We've got a run on Simo, not quite the run on Blue Mosquito, but he's going to have a compromised run up the hill. Is he going to be able... Are we going to be able to get through? Yes, we do. That gap opens up on the inside because he doesn't take the curb. So we're just going to take the race line. Boomer and someone up ahead. Tumble has a bit of contact on the run up the hill as well. Cablo going around the outside of Tumble. He's being swamped. Frome up the inside. I'm going to follow him through. As I follow him through on Cablo as well. Me and Frome making good work as we come up the field into 6th place already at the start of this race. Pretty good start for us, and then me and Frome doing really good well to get through the field. We dummy to the inside. Are we going to be able to get it stuck? Get it a bit late. He turns in, rightly so, and get it a bit wrong. We look to the inside for this corner. We're going to just send up the inside, back out towards the apex. Just don't want to get swamped and send ourselves at the start of the race. We've got 11 laps to go. We know we're quicker, so we're just going to be patient and keep it calm. Coming through at this fast left-hander. We're still in the toe, and we still have sight of the leader. Cornelius and Pornage having a little bit of a battle up in front. But Grumpy, we're just going to watch. I believe this is a new Shadow Realm entry. Cue Super GT explosions. You can see me and Tumble found that pretty amusing. Turns out he was letting Frome through. Tried to time it so he didn't let us through, but he sent himself into the wall, so karma for that, Grumpy. So yeah, Shadow Realm entry for number 1 of this race, and probably about 57,000 for Grumpy, but still behind Frome, and a free position for ourselves. It goes defensive to the inside for this hairpin Cornelius chasing him. We get a bit of a really good exit on Frome there, having to tap him on the back. He goes onto the grass and he stays ahead for the time being. Coming on to lap 1, me and Frome making pretty quick work of the field then, and having a pretty amazing start as we usually do, working together, following each other through on the race start. So just giving Tumble again some more tips on fuel saving, keeping it in 3rd gear through the final right-hander, coming on to the straight. Cornelius, Pornage, Pontus, Frome and I trying to catch up. Frome straight, white lining it into turn 1, does not want to let us through at this stage in the race. He pulls back onto the racing line, he goes a bit deep. Are we going to be able to get a cut back? He goes a bit wide, we get the power down, try and look to the inside, not going to be come to fruition on this occasion. Cornelius and Pornage again still having a battle, really helping us catch up, hooking up the curbs a lot better than Frome did. Getting a bit of a tank slapper though, coming up the hill, which is less than ideal, giving us a bit of backwards momentum. Coming down the hill, are we going to send up the inside? It's going to be pretty audacious if we do it on this occasion. Not quite. He goes in deep. We go in a lot later than he does. He gets a pretty good run exit as well. Pornage with some very, very aggressive defending there, and this is allowing Pontus to catch up into 3rd place. A very quick driver himself. And Cornelius looks to the inside, sends it up the inside of Pornage and takes the lead, but they're going to get a cut back and he's going to take the lead back off him straight away. Pornage getting a little run on the outside of Cornelius as well. This is now a 5-way fight for the lead. Pornage retakes the lead and Pornage is right up, and this allowed me and Frome as we work together to catch up. So this is now a 5-car train for the lead of the race. We're purple in the 3rd sector. Cornelius getting pretty frustrated with Pornage and just adrenaline really. I don't think it was any hard feelings. Frome goes a little bit wide though, so we're going to look to the inside, get the power down, make him give us the room, but he's just going to keep it on the outside with a better run and better line. Going to tap back into the slipstream and hope we can make the most of this scenario. He's going to look to the inside of Pontus. We're going to brake as late as we can as well. If Pontus is a little bit wide, we're just going to push Frome through, which is exactly what we do. He's had a compromised run, so we're going to take this as well, have a good run and straight line the exit as Pontus just completely backs out there. Me and Frome making quick work once again, following him through, using our brain, just making sure, using Frome to do all the work for me, and then when we're done we can overtake him and go on our way in. I do love our battles with Frome. We do have very good respect and it's always fun. So still in mode 2, monitoring the fuel and making sure we can stay with this train in front. Harrison trying to use his brain for once, and Pontus goes a little bit wide, so he's going to be falling off the back. Pornage aggressive defending once again. He's white lining the absolute tits out of that car. Cornelius can't quite find a way through. Me and Frome still trying to get on the back. He gets a bit of a slow launch, so we dart, and that's just compromised our run. Asking Willis to give us a bit of a tow in the slipstream, and he's still got to manage to get a bit of run. We've go purple. Frome to the inside of Willis. Is he going to go get up the inside? Frome up the inside of Willis. I can't really find a way through, so I'm just going to drive my way through on the inside of Willis. And is he going to fight it too much? He's been overtaken twice. Once again, me following Frome through up the hill. He's going to keep it on that inside, so I have to give him the space up the hill. Coming into here though, I'm full lock. If he keeps it there, he's going to be, it's going to end in tears. Not the wisest there to keep it around the outside. We gave him space and no harm done. He's still in P4, catching up now to Pornage as Frome got through himself. We're going to have a little look on Pornage now as he is struggling on pace now. Frome ahead, so this is less than ideal. I need to dispatch a Pornage really quickly, hooking up the curbs quite well and getting the better exit on the run up into the long right hander. You can see left-hander, he gets a bit of a tank slapper on the grass, so this is going to allow us to go have a run on the outside. He's still on the inside, but we're just going to brake late and claim the racing line with a pretty nice move up the inside of Pornage to take that second place and chase after Frome. 8/10 to gap, just about inside the slipstream. So this is now our in lap. You can see we've caught up a little bit to Frome. Once again, the same strategy. It seems like everyone has now copied it as they saw it. It was a lot quicker in the previous race. So Frome is going to copy our strategy from the last race. We're all going to peel into the pits on the same lap. Point 2 as we come into the pits once again to put on the medium compound tyre. Once again, yeah, just the handicap. So fueling up the car. And we'll see if we can jump Frome. We put a little bit extra just to make sure we can. So now we can push all the way to the end of the race on these medium tyres. Everyone else in the pits. Willis has come out third as well, so good for him. And apologies for the background noise, I can't really help it. But yeah, just trying to stick with Frome, make the most of any mistakes he makes in this race as we come on to lap 7 of 11. So once again, Frome doesn't really use the curbs to hook up, and you can see it costs him most here. Costs him most here on the exit, coming on to the fast left. So it does give us a pretty good run. He defends to the inside. I dummy to the inside and send one up the inside of him. He's going to keep it on the outside. I'm going to give him the space. Still full lock and just trying to give him the space on the outside. Don't want to run him out too much. Try and keep it clean. I'm full lock and he's managed to keep it on the outside. So fair play to Frome there. Tuck him back into the slipstream. He's had a really good run. I don't know how he has that straight line speed, but fair play to him. He's going to move to the outside. We're going to go for it around the outside. Can we get it stopped? We just slide a little bit too much. So not going to come to fruition on this occasion. Get a pretty good run coming out of the hairpin though, but not good enough to send one into this corner here. Just having to bide our time once again, and still having a bit of chatter with my mates in the party, just making sure we all make it through the race cleanly. So keeping with Frome in the tow as he gets pretty good launches off the corners. Overall, I'd say we're pretty equal on pace at the moment. He goes a bit deep, having to double, triple, quadruple brake coming into this corner, and that's going to allow us to get a bit closer. He does get a pretty good run. However, though, so for the moment, we're just gonna bide our time again. Later on that lap, we're gonna look to go around the outside of him. Same deja vu as to what he did to us season before. Can't quite get the grip around the outside. He's just going to take the race and tumble with some very bold threats to take up Pornage. You know, if he does it to him, he's going to do it back, which I'd say is fair play. But you know, sometimes it's better to just like there's a bit of foul play and running him off the track, then there's deliberately taking him out, which yeah, is never good. But Frome goes a little bit wide, so we're going to send one up the inside, look up the inside, try and get the power down and make him give us the space coming into the S's, but not quite got the run into the S's. But we're going to force him offline, which is crucial, which is going to allow us to have a pretty good backwards momentum run into this fast left-hander. A bit of contact, but not much I could do to help that. I'm going to squeeze him all the way to the inside as he's forced there by myself. I'm going to squeeze him. He's trying to come back over. I'm going to leave it to the last second to come back over. Send it around the outside, like similar to I did to Pornage. Nearly get myself on the grass there, but managing to bite it back, and Frome reclaims that first position. Simmer behind as well, looking feisty on the soft tyres, so this is why I need to get in front of Frome, just so when Zimmer catches up I have that bit of a buffer, that one car between us both. So I really need to get in front of Frome. This is a race long battle now, and I have been behind for most of it. Less than ideal, but we've got a pretty good run. Going to keep it tight to the inside and just send it up the inside of him. Claim the apex. He's given us a massive squeeze on the curb. We're going to have a massive tank slapper. And coming out, we're still going to be side by side into the flat out S's. We're going to chuck it in. He's going to squeeze us more to the curb once again. We're still full lock, giving him the space on the inside. He's all over the curb. He's got a massive tank slapper. We're onto the grass as well. It was very fine line racing there, but we're going to take that first position as Flying Frome falls in second place, and we finally get in front after this race long battle. So just monitoring the fuel, making sure we got enough, and Simo chasing after Frome. Flying Frome's bottled it. No and way. Flying Frome has bottled it behind us. Did he bottle it? We're going to see a replay. Simo on the inside just clips him a little bit there, and Frome goes round as Simo is in a hurry and desperate to make up those places. But with Frome out the equation, Simo is free to chase after us in this race. Frome, I believe, still managing to recover to P3. So 2 laps to go, and now onto the final lap. It is a lot closer than it was the time before. Similar circumstances to the race before, where it is the last lap showdown between me and Simo. 9/10 behind it is a lot finer margin this time, and I do need to monitor the fuel a little bit better as well. Porn is leaving the room after tumble. Let's just say he wasn't too kind and sent him to the Shadow Realm a few times. These are the types of mistakes I don't want to be making, especially on the last lap. When the stakes are this high, we need to make sure we can win this race just to remain undefeated for pride, and obviously those extra points in the standings. Tumble, bit scared he's not going to make it to the end, but he's just going to try and save the fuel as best he can. And yeah, so Simo is really close on this final lap, 6/10
I
now,
know
so
I
we're
was
just going
only
to white
back.
line it to
I'm
defend.
never
I am
discarded,
pretty
but
confident with
that's
my
fair enough.
defending,
Oh my.
especially
To be fair,
on medium and slower tyres. Just need to park it where I need to park it and be quick where he can't get me. So straights, and just make sure I get good exits and slow entries. Just need to make sure he can't outbrake me and make no mistakes. Monitoring the fuel, we got 0.6 of a lap with about half a lap to go, so it is going to be fine margins on the fuel. Coming into this fast left-hander, hopefully he doesn't bother this time and we can make a bit of a battle out of it. You can just see the grip difference there on the soft tyres, especially at this track. There's a lot more time to be gained, and he gets such a good launch off that corner. He is ahead of us now coming onto this, so I'm not having any of it. I'm going to brake as late as I possibly can on these medium compound tyres, send it back up the inside, claim the racing line, get it bit in a little bit better, try and straight line the exit, force him off, but there's a bit of contact. He's all over the curb, and we're going to reclaim that position as he gets another tank slapper once again. Is he going to be able to go for a move into the last 4 corners of the track? Looks like we've done enough to hold on for now. He may have a little look into the hairpin, not quite close enough on this occasion. He needs to get another storm and exit, but you can see we gain a lot on the exit. He must have got a tank slapper or something as we negotiate the final 3 corners and penultimate corner of the race. Just making sure I don't bottle it. Going in nice and slow. Simo, you can see all over the curb. He's pushing really hard to catch us. Got 0.2 laps of fuel to go, so just going to knock it into mode 2. It's going to be really, really close on fuel and position 2 Simo behind. So we're going to knock it into mode 1 just to make sure I can get across the line. It looks like he's a bit far back. Hoping we don't run out of fuel. Hopefully don't run out of fuel. We come across the line and we're going to win our 4th race of the season, 4 of 4, with Simo 2nd, Blue Mosquito 3rd. And you can see after that race, the standings are now looking pretty good in our favour. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like it, please do consider subscribing, liking and sharing. Also comment what you thought of the video down below. I really do appreciate it, guys. So anything you want to see on the channel, please do let us know in the comments. And yeah, see you next time, guys. Sorry for this video being a little bit late. Got caught up with karting and just didn't really have the time to edit, but it's out now. So by the time you're watching this, hopefully you made it all the way to the end. I appreciate it, guys. Peace.